Um, we will have a really amazing moment now. Uh, it's one of my favorite projects because it's combine my two passion, uh, everything around decentralization, Web3, and trees. And welcome, John Tritoken. I'm really glad to onboard you and welcome you here on stage because it means a lot. First, that I really do appreciate your contribution in the Web3 Stronger Together initiative, and also that your project is moving in
Yes.
the good way, and things are close to be totally set to reveal and go live and contribute actively, not only to the Web3 ecosystem, but also bringing a solution to the climate change and the forest protection and reforestation. So, up to you now. You're
Thank you,
on the
Lauren.
stage.
Thank you, Lauren. Very nice to be here. And yeah, just a few words. We've been working quite along on this project, and there's a lot of regulatory uh, obstacles to come over, which we maybe hadn't thought about early in the process. But this needs to be done by the book, and that's how we need to proceed. But we're proceeding constantly, and are kind of like on the last mile on the talks with the local authorities on AML and KYC issues. But those look like we have overcome the biggest obstacles. So what Tree is, it's like a carbon offset project utilizing blockchain for efficiency and transparency, and those are the biggest issues for carbon offset projects today. So the Tree, where magic of forest and blockchain meet. What do we mean with that? Well, we are, as said, a carbon offset project. So we invest in forests. We have a foundation that owns already today 600,000 square meters of forest. And trees are, they are the planet's best, most efficient removers of carbon. And then we have blockchain that we utilize to run this whole project, enabling scalability, transparency, and also accessibility, which is one of the key things. Owning forest like a physical property is very highly regulated around the world. So typically you need to be from a certain country to be able to buy forest. But with our model, we enable really anybody around the world, independent of how much you want to invest. Is it $1 or $100 or $1,000? You can start making an impact. And by combining these, we then enable private persons and businesses to generate carbon offset from the forest that the foundation owns. A little bit of background, kind of like where we got here. A growing number of individuals and companies are pledging to help stop climate change by reducing their own greenhouse gas emissions, and at the same time, the stuff that the emissions that they can't eliminate through changing the ways of how they operate, they are offsetting them. So buying offset from someone, from a project like Tree. So if they can't offset themselves or they can't eliminate the emissions, then they can come to a company like us, and we generate more offset than what we produce. So we can then sell them some of the offset generated from the forest. This market is, it's already maybe 10, 20 years old, but in the past couple of years it has grown popularity. And why would businesses want to offset their emissions? typically it's for brand purposes, and also obviously for for the company to be climate neutral. But a lot of it goes to kind of like the ESG pledges, and but also for being the kind of brand that's good for nature. And this market is now expected to start growing very rapidly, and will do a 50x in the coming 10 years, according to there's a big study done by McKinsey and Company last year. So it will go into the estimation for the next 10 years that the market size will be approximately $30-40 billion. But new solutions are really needed to match the demand here, because most of the players today on the market are they are resellers of other projects. So there's very few companies who are actually generating offset, and majority are just those who are reselling them, packaging them, and making them into different types of programs, and then selling them to companies. This offset market has really, it has its problems, most of them being in the quality of the offset itself. Like, is this, what's the long-term effect of it? Like, if it's a forest project, what will happen with those trees that get planted? 70% of wood today is still used for fuel, which means that when you burn it, it goes back into the atmosphere. A project like us, where we control the whole life cycle of the forest, we are able to guarantee that the wood is used for instance, for log cabin building and as building material, where when the carbon gets locked in and actually has a very high efficiency. And then also trustworthiness. There's lots of projects, even big companies out there who have got caught printing too much carbon credits and selling them compared to what they've actually removed. This was kind of like where we started from. We thought that, okay, how can we reinvent this space and use both myself and my wife's professional backgrounds into creating something new. And we thought about, well, instead of buying this offset, why wouldn't you want to generate it? So if you are generating the offset instead of just buying it from a third party, you immediately know the quality of it. You have better insight into what's happening. What's the the effect, and therefore it's much more valuable for you. And by doing it as a tokenized project, we even make it so that it's really not a cost for you. You're basically you are exchanging tokens, and you can sell them back at any time. So you're basically just holding on to the token, and by doing so, you generate the offset. We try to put in all the best of all worlds into this project. So has it at an asset-backed currency. So the tree token that we're doing is backed by the forest that the foundation owns. So 1 tree token per every square meter of forest that's out there. We do reserve audits as well, so all the holders can see that we're actually holding the amount of forest that equals to the amount of tokens in circulation. It's a turnkey solution for offsetting, so we take care of everything, all the admin management, the carbon removal, verification, and development of forest. And as a token holder, you just hold on to the token, and we handle the rest. And then the kind of like key thing from the quality perspective is that we have the full carbon circle control. So we own the forest, we own the trees and everything, and we get to decide what happens with them when those trees are mature and aren't removing carbon at the same rate as they are when they're a little bit younger. For a tree, the best best days for them for carbon removal are when they're approximately from 10 years to 40 years old. That's when they will sequester most of the carbon during their lifetime. And after that, they will obviously still continue to sequester, but it will be much slower. And then typically it would make sense to cut them, take that timber into the building industry to keep it locked in and start growing new trees instead. So that way we maximize the carbon removal. Just quickly about the concept itself. It's novel but very simple. So we own and develop the forest, and we issue the token. Individuals and businesses can buy the token, and with that money, the foundation buys more forest. So we're constantly growing. The holders, you stake the token, and then you get the carbon credits for that. And the carbon credits comes from the physical forest, from the removal of the CO2. We verify that removal, and then based on that data, we mint carbon offset credits, which are then transformed into NFTs. And then the token holders will get those NFTs. They can either retire them, which means that you nullify the credit. You can gift them, and you can even sell them. There are companies then who, even if they might be token holders, they still might need a little bit more offset to actually get to their goal. Approximately, so a European person emits around 10 tons of CO2 every year. So a one-time investment of $5,000 in tree would basically make you perpetually carbon compensated. You buy it at 50 cents per token, and you sell it for the same price. There is a small tax in between, but basically it's always with the same price. It doesn't fluctuate. So you buy it and you sell it for the same price. So if you have 5,000 extra, you could basically buy 3 tokens and be carbon compensated for as long as you hold on to the tokens. If you need the money later, you just exchange them back into fiat or whatever, and you have your money back, but then you're not compensated anymore. This we already went through. So in the background, basically we mint tokens, the 3 tokens on demand. So we don't have we do a mint and burn model there. So we don't stack tokens. We always make sure that we have the same amount of forest as tokens in circulation. And you can buy and sell them on our website to start with. We might at some point also look at the decentralized and centralized exchange route, but for the moment, due to some of the regulation requirements, we're gonna have the tokens bought and sold from our own site. Then the NFTs themselves. So once you stake your 3 tokens, you will earn the offset NFTs automatically. It's a 90-day staking, and then for that wallet that you have connected with your account, you will receive those NFTs. And those NFTs then, on our platform or in the DApp, you can then decide what you want to do with them. We are going to build probably still this year also the marketplace for selling them. First internally to other 3 token holders, but then later on also other partners. We already have 2 external partners who would like to start buying offset through us because they like the quality of the project and of the offset that we generate. And this will then allow also, our token holders to for them who don't want to retire their NFTs themselves, they could sell them. So that's kind of like the financial upside as well. Typically, there aren't really any upsides, financial upsides in stablecoins. But here, since the stablecoin is physically actually generating an asset, the carbon removal and the the carbon offset credit, it is actually valuable. So depending on, you know, the current price, I think currently the government issued carbon credits are going for over 100 euros per ton. These are not, you can't compare them like apples to apples since these are voluntary carbon credits, but today the price is anywhere between $15 to $100 per ton. So, you know, you can quickly calculate the annual yield if you would invest in tree and sell those tokens directly. Sell those carbon credits on our marketplace. Obviously, there's a price pressure, you know, going forward. More companies are going to need and want to buy these kind of carbon offsets, and the kind of like the market is growing more on the applications layer and the middleware layer, not as much on those projects who are generating. We hope that we would get now from our 600,000 square meters of forest that we would, you know, 5x it during this year, and maybe even more. It really depends on us. We have a good network of new land plots and people selling those new land plots, so we can scale pretty quickly, or even up to, you know, 1,000x on the forest side. It all just depends on how much of the tokens we're selling. But we don't have an obsession to grow rapidly. We want to invest in the quality of this first, and then also start our direct selling. So the idea for us is to sell directly to companies. I know that we're already on 17 minutes here, but if you want to follow us, you can obviously go to Twitter, and we're also on Telegram and then our website. But all of that is getting renewed very soon.
Thanks a lot for this presentation. I'm really in a hurry to be able to contribute, help, and spread the word. Finger crossed for the last next step regarding the compliance side. And let's keep building together. Thanks again for contributing.
Absolutely.
And see you soon. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.